Welcome to Boring Tales, where we tell the most boring stories you'll ever love. You're here now, and there's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, nothing to think about, no one to impress. This is your time to drift, to settle, to feel the heaviness of sleep begin to rise. Tonight, we're going far back, before cities, before writing, before even the first fire was truly known. We'll follow the slow, simple rhythm of a gatherer's day. Not an exciting day, just a quiet one. One that begins before the sun and ends in silence beneath the stars. Her name is Noma. She wakes beneath stone. She walks the earth with bare feet. She listens to the wind before speaking to it. She gathers what she needs and leaves the rest. Everything she does is slow. Everything she does is simple. And so tonight, we'll follow her pace. Unhurried, undisturbed. One small action at a time. Let the rhythm of her world lull you. Let it slow your breath. Let it quiet your thoughts. And carry you gently toward rest. Now, close your eyes. And we'll begin. Before light. Before sound. Before anything moves. There is the cold. Not a harsh cold. Not the kind that bites or stings. Just a steady, familiar coolness. The kind that lives in stone. The kind that waits all through the night. And does not leave until the sun has spoken to it. Noma sleeps with one hand beneath her cheek. The other lies flat against the ground. Palm resting on the hard, uneven floor of the shelter. The rock is smooth in places, rough in others. She knows them all. Each bump, each groove, each tiny dip in the surface beneath her. Her skin has grown used to stone. She no longer thinks of it. It is simply there. Like air. Like breath. The woven mat under her hip is thin. It does not soften the stone. It only tells her where her place is. Where she returns to each night. Where her bones learn stillness. She does not open her eyes. Not yet. There is no need. In the stillness, her breath is slow. It rises. Then falls. A pause. Then again. She is not dreaming. Not fully awake. Only hovering somewhere in between. Outside, the world has not made its sounds. The birds are still thinking of flight. The insects are not yet buzzing. The air waits. Inside the shelter, all is heavy and unmoving. The others sleep still. Bodies stretched or curled. Breathing quietly. Some wrapped in skins. Some uncovered. Each in their own stillness. Noma stays where she is. One leg bent. The other pressed flat. Her spine curved like the edge of a hollow log. She feels the tickle of a breeze across her back. Faint. Barely there. The kind of breeze that slips in sideways. Through the narrow opening in the rock wall. Where the cave mouth breaks to the world. It is not a cave, not truly. Just a hollow. Carved by years of wind and water. Cradled in the belly of a cliff. Stone above, stone behind, stone below. And before her. Only the faintest grey. The shape of light not yet risen. The slow breath of the world before it begins. Noma's eyes remain closed. There is no fire. No voice. No hunger. Not yet. Only breath. And stone. She shifts slightly. Not to rise. Only to settle. The curve of her elbow moves an inch. Then stills. Her fingers rest on the edge of a flint chip. She knows its shape. Sharp on one side. Dull on the other. Left there the night before. After it fell from her pouch. She does not open her hand. She simply feels it. Pressing back against her skin. A familiar presence. Not dangerous. Not kind. Just. Present. Far above her, near the ceiling, dust hangs in the air. It does not fall. It waits. Weightless. Floating between darkness and day. Sometimes, in the brighter hours, she watches it spin. Now, It simply hovers. There are markings on the stone above her. She knows them too. Not with her eyes, but with the memory in her body. Scrapes. Grooves. The places where hands once pressed red clay, years ago. Generations before hers. Symbols no one speaks of. Shapes that have always been. In the hush, her foot twitches. A small movement. Just the big toe brushing the mat. She is waking slowly. Not by choice, but by the long pull of the earth turning. Her tongue rests flat against the roof of her mouth. Dry. But not uncomfortably so. She does not think of water. Not yet. A soft inhale. Then a long, quiet exhale. No sigh. No sound. Only the body's remembering. It is nearly time. But not yet. Behind her, one of the children shifts. A soft grunt. Then stillness again. A strip of animal hide lies across her shoulder. She had pulled it close in the night. Now, it has slipped down to her ribs. The edge tickles against her skin. She does not reach for it. The cold is not unpleasant. It simply reminds her she is not the fire. She is the one who must gather the fire. Later. Her back touches the curved rock wall. It cups her form. As it has always done. A cradle of stone. Worn smooth over time. By wind. By rain. By bodies like hers. By sleep. There are bones nearby. Clean. Picked dry. Set neatly along the side wall. A pile from many days ago. They are not frightening. They are only reminders. That things live. And things stop living. She thinks nothing of them. She has looked at them many times. This morning, she does not open her eyes to see them. She simply knows they are there. Stillness continues. The same stillness that rested over the land for endless nights before this one. And will rest again. Tomorrow. And the day after. Noma breathes again. The breath sounds a little louder now. But only just. The sky outside has begun to pale. Not bright. Not light. Just. Pale. A graying of black. A hint. She will move soon. Sit. Stretch. Rise. But not yet. First, she will remain in this position. Bent at the knees. Hands near her face. Hair tangled. Mat beneath her. Stone beneath that. And the slow waking of the world above it all. No words. No thoughts. Just being. Just the cold of morning stone. Her breath changes. Only slightly. The rhythm stays slow. But something in the depth of it shifts. Longer now. Wider in the chest. A breath that does not belong to sleep. But to the beginning of waking. Noma lies still a little longer. Her eyes remain closed. But her thoughts begin to stretch. Not fast. Not in full. Just softly. Like a reed bending with the wind. Then straightening again. Her hand, the one beneath her cheek, moves first. Not far. Just a few inches. It slides along the mat. The woven fibers press gently into her skin. Leaving shallow lines along her palm. The mat is made from dry grass. Knotted tightly. Laid in place seasons ago. The grass has softened over time. But not by much. It is still scratchy. Still stiff. She does not mind. It is what it has always been. She lifts her fingers. Slowly. One by one. The smallest first. Then the next. Until the hand is loose and open. Not grasping. Just resting. Then the wrist rolls. Her arm shifts. The bone along her forearm presses gently into the earth. A slight pop in her elbow. Nothing painful. Just the quiet reminder. That joints, too, must wake. Her eyes open. Only a crack. The lids part just enough to see light. Not yet color. Just the soft shape of things. The cave mouth is still gray. Still hushed. But no longer black. She blinks once. Then again. Her lashes feel heavy. Not from sleep. but from the bits of dust that always settle in the night. She rubs her eye with the back of her hand. The motion is slow, barely more than a drag of skin against skin. Her breath comes again, in through the nose, out through the lips. A quiet stream of warmth. It brushes her collarbone, dissolves into the air, then gone. She brings one leg out from under the other. A soft sound as her heel slides across the mat. The skin is dry, a little cracked. She feels the texture of it drag across the woven grass. No pain, just sensation. The knee rises slowly. A bend. A pause. Then the foot rests flat against the ground. Her other leg follows. Not immediately. After a few heartbeats. She does not rush. There is no need. Now both knees are bent. Her feet flat. Her back still curled slightly. A shape that feels like safety. The animal hide has slipped further now. It lies across her side. Not quite covering. Not quite falling away. She runs a hand across it. Rough fur. Worn down in places. Smooth in others. The hide smells faintly of smoke. And sun. And days stretched long. She shifts her head. Turns it to the side. Her cheek now rests on the stone. It is colder than her skin. She notices. Then forgets. Behind her, one of the others breathes out sharply. Not awake. Just the noise of a dream. Then silence again. Noma's shoulders lift. Just a little. Her spine stretches. The muscles down her back flutter awake. Not all at once. Just one by one. A small ripple of awareness. She brings her arms in close. Crosses them over her chest. A loose cradle. Like the one she slept in. Like the one the stone made for her. The sky beyond the cave mouth is paler now. Not white. Not blue. Just less dark. A quiet suggestion that time is moving. Even if she is not. She does not speak. There is no language yet. Only breath. And presence. She closes her eyes again. Not to return to sleep. But to rest once more. Before the next shift. The next position. The next slow part of waking. Her body listens to itself. Knees touching. Shoulders loose. Neck heavy. Fingers resting. And again. The breath. Always the breath. It comes. It goes. And it stays. Noma blinks again. The third time since waking. Her lashes brush together like the wings of a moth. Soft. Slow. Silent. There is more light now. Still grey. Still dim. But lighter than before. A gradual shift. The stone around her holds its shadows, but they are not as deep. Not as closed. She feels her spine round forward. Not from effort. Just from the gentle pull of the morning. Her shoulders drift in. Her arms draw in close. Her body folds inward, like a leaf curling at the edge. She brings her knees tighter. Then releases them again. A small movement. A pause. Another movement. No urgency. Her fingers reach toward the ground. They brush the stone. The mat. A few pebbles, cold to the touch. She moves them aside. Not to clean the space. Only to feel the shape of them. The roundness of one. The sharpness of another. They do not belong. And yet they do. She turns onto her side. Slowly. Carefully. Like shifting underwater. Her hip settles. Her arm presses against the ground. Her breath deepens. Now, she begins to rise. Not all at once. Not even halfway. Just enough to lift her upper body from the mat. She rolls her shoulder forward. Then the other. Her hands slide beneath her. She pushes up with the smallest amount of effort. Stone pushes back. The air touches more of her now. Her back. Her ribs. Her neck. The morning cool is still there. Still waiting. She sits. Cross-legged. Head low. Hair loose. Lashes still heavy. She does not lift her gaze. She looks at the ground. The mat. The shapes of her own legs. Folded. Still. Present. She rests her hands on her knees. Not firmly. Just enough to feel the weight of them. The stillness of them. She breathes in. Then out. Another breath. A pause. Outside, the grey has softened. Not brighter. But wider. The space before her is no longer a single shape. There are outlines now. A curve of stone. A drift of dried leaves. A pile of ash from last night's fire. She does not tend it yet. There is no fire to feed. Only the memory of it. The smoke long gone. The warmth long gone. Only the pattern in the ash remains. She stares at it. Not with interest. Not with thought. Just as something to look at. A soft mark of what once was. A circle. A line. A scatter of black dust. The hide across her legs slides down. She lets it fall. It pools in her lap, then settles beside her. The others are still sleeping. One shifts. Another breathes. A foot turns. Nothing more. All remains quiet. Noma looks to the mouth of the shelter. It is not far. Only a few steps. But she does not go. Not yet. She sits. And watches. And waits. The light continues to change. Not fast. But steadily. The kind of light that comes whether you watch or not. But she watches. Because there is nothing else to do. Her toes press into the mat. Then curl slightly. A small sensation. A grounding. She presses again. Then releases. The coolness of the ground has not left. It will stay until the sun touches it. And even then, the stone beneath will stay cool for hours more. It is slow to change. Like her. She looks at her hands. They are dry. Brown. Cracked in places. Nails chipped. Skin stretched across bone and sinew. She turns them over. Palm up. Then palm down. A slow inspection. Not for purpose. Only to feel. She scratches lightly at the skin near her thumb. A flake comes away. Falls into her lap. She does not brush it off. It will fall when it wants to. Still she sits. Still she breathes. Still she watches the world turn, a fraction of a degree at a time. The day has not begun. Not truly. But it has begun to think of beginning. And that is enough. The light has changed. It is not bright. Not golden. Not warm. But it is no longer the grey of dawn. Now it is the pale light of early morning. Cool light. Soft light. Enough to see without fire. Noma has moved. She has stood. Slowly. Quietly. Each joint waking like a river stone shifting under the current. She has stepped outside the shelter. Bare feet on packed earth. Cool. Smooth in places. Pebbled in others. The others are still inside. Still curled. Still resting. But Noma has begun her day. There is no food to eat yet. No water drawn yet. Those things will come. Later. After the stone. She walks to a familiar spot. Just a few steps beyond the mouth of the shelter. To the right. Past the low ridge of fallen rock. Beneath a tree with twisted branches. No leaves today. Only quiet limbs reaching. The ground there is flat. Flat enough for sitting. Flat enough for shaping. She knows it well. It is her place. The place of hands and stone. She lowers herself slowly. One knee bends. Then the other. She does not drop. She eases. Her hips settle on the earth. Her spine curves forward. In front of her. A pile. Not large. Not small. A careful pile of stones. Flint. Sharp. Heavy. Dull. Jagged. She has gathered these over many walks. She remembers where each one came from. Some from the river. Some from the cliffside. Some from where the ground broke open after rain. She reaches for the top stone. Not the best one. Just the one nearest. She turns it in her hand. Feels its edges. One side is smooth. The other is broken. It fits in her palm. Not perfectly, but well enough. Her fingers find a second stone. Thinner. Harder. A striker. She brings the two together. Not quickly. Not forcefully. Just enough. A touch. A test. Then again. A strike. A flake falls away. A tiny piece. Thin as bark. It lands near her foot. She does not look at it. She knows it well. Another strike. Then another. Tap. Pause. Tap again. She is not making a tool yet. She is only listening to the stone. Letting it tell her where it wants to break. Her hands move slowly. Wrists loose. Fingers firm. No rush. No waste. She turns the flint. Finds the next edge. Presses her thumb along the ridge. Then strikes again. The sound is soft. Stone against stone. A short, clean click. Not loud. Not sharp. Just part of the morning. A breeze moves past. Lifts the edge of her garment. Touches her cheek. She does not react. She has felt it before. It will come again. Her legs are crossed. One ankle over the other. She adjusts them slightly. A shift of weight. A breath. She gathers the flint flakes at her feet. Sweeps them into a small pile with her hand. She will use them later. Or not. It does not matter now. All that matters is the feel of the stone. The rhythm of the shaping. The waiting. The noticing. The presence. A tool may come from this. Or it may not. The flint will decide. She only listens. And waits. And moves. When it says so. The flint rests in her palm. Heavier now. Or perhaps her hand is only noticing the weight. After so much stillness. Noma does not rush. She does not force the next step. There is no plan. No shape in her mind. Only the stone. And the place where it waits to change. She turns it slowly. Her fingers trace its edges. There. Near the curve. A line. A line not drawn. But felt. The pressure line. Where the stone is ready to split. To give. To break. Not from strength. Not from speed. But from knowing. From patience. She picks up the striker again. Thin. Firm. Cool. It fits between her thumb and finger. Held lightly. Not like a weapon. Like a whisper. She exhales. Not a sigh. Just the release of breath. A small offering to the moment. Then, she presses. Not a strike, this time. A push. Steady. Deliberate. Along the edge of the flint. Right where the pressure line sits, silent and waiting. Her thumb tenses. Just slightly. The muscles in her wrist respond. The stone shifts. And a sliver breaks away. Not loud. Not messy. Just a quiet click. And then the piece is gone. She sets it aside. Does not study it. Not yet. The tool is not made by one movement. It is made by many. And by the waiting between them. She presses again. Another sliver. This one longer. It curls slightly at the edge. Thin like a leaf after sun. Sharp. But not angry. Just sharp. The shape of the flint has changed now. She holds it closer to her face. Turns it slowly. It is not yet what it will be. But it is becoming. Becoming something useful. Something ready. Her feet rest flat against the earth. Still cool. Still hard. A pebble presses against her heel. She shifts. Just a little. Lets her weight move. The pebble remains. The flint turns in her hand again. She sees a new ridge. Another line. Another place that wants to be touched. To be changed. She brings the striker close. Holds her breath. Not from tension. Not from effort. Just a pause. A space between moments. Her hand lowers. The edge of the striker meets the flint. Not with force, but with steadiness. She presses. A sound. Soft. A clean snap of contact. A flake peels away. Tumbles to the ground. It spins once, then settles against her ankle. She brushes it aside with her knuckle. Not urgently. Just enough to clear the space. The shaping continues. She works like this for some time. Not quickly. Not without pause. Just a rhythm of press. Release. Turn. Consider. She does not count the flakes. She does not plan the result. Her hands know more than her thoughts. They remember shapes. They remember usefulness. A scraping edge. A pointed corner. A base to be wrapped in hide later. Perhaps. Perhaps it will be a cutter. Or a scraper. Or something else entirely. But that is not now. Now is only this moment. This flint. This line. This pressure. The ground is scattered with slivers. Tiny blades. Curved edges. Some too small to use. Others worth saving. She pushes the better ones into a pile beside her thigh. The rest stay where they are. They are part of the earth now. Stone returned to stone. Her hands rest. Not finished. Only pausing. A breath. A roll of her shoulders. A slow tilt of her head. The flint is smaller now. Smoother. More deliberate in its shape. It does not look like it did before. It has begun to resemble intention. Even if Noma did not name it yet. She sets it down beside her. Not on the pile. Not in the dust. But gently. On a flat piece of bark she keeps nearby. She wipes her hands on her legs. Dry flakes fall away. Dust rises. Then settles. Always settling. The tool is not done. But it is changed. The morning is moving forward. The light is warmer now. But still soft. Still early. And so Noma waits. Lets her fingers rest. Lets the flint rest. Listens to the silence. Before beginning again. Noma lifts the stone again. It is cool now. Cooler than her hands. Cooler than the breeze on her back. She turns it slowly. No intention. Just observation. Looking without needing. Touching without urgency. The flint has changed since sunrise. Not dramatically. Not loudly. But certainly. What was once jagged. Now has direction. A curve here. A ridge smoothed there. She tilts it toward the light. The edge catches it. Thin. Sharp. Not like a knife. Not like metal. But sharp in its own way. The way stone can be. When asked slowly. When shaped without force. She presses her thumb along the edge. Carefully. Not to test pain. But to test readiness. It does not crumble. It does not flake. It holds. That is enough. Now comes the refining. The part her fingers know better than her eyes. Small adjustments. Minor touches. Little improvements. So the tool becomes more than stone. She picks up the striker again. It is warm now. Warmed by use. By breath. By time. The flint rests against her thigh. Stable. Still. She presses the edge of the striker against the underside. Gently. Again, not striking. Just pressing. Guiding. Asking the stone to yield. A chip falls. Then another. Short taps. Quiet taps. The kind that would be lost to birdsong if there were any birds nearby. Noma doesn't look up. Her brow remains low. Her shoulders still. She moves only her hands. Like water trickling across a rock. Now the back of the flint, she smooths it. Not for sharpness. But for comfort. So it may be held. Grasped. Used for scraping. Or cutting. Or carving. Whatever the day might need. Or the next day. or many days from now. She turns it again. Now that the base. She chips a notch. A place to tie. Maybe with sinew. Maybe with plant fiber. That part comes later. The holding comes first. The fitting. The tool must fit the hand. Must rest where the fingers expect it. Where the palm closes without surprise. She presses again. Chips again. Looks. Turns. Breathes. Time passes. Not quickly. Not slowly. Just as it always does. Then. She stops. The flint is no longer becoming. It has become. A simple shape. A plain edge. Nothing special to anyone who does not understand it. But Noma understands. She knows what it will do. What it can do. And that is enough. She sets it down beside the bark. Carefully. Like setting down a sleeping child. Or a bowl with water. She sits still for a moment. Looks at her hands. Grey dust in the creases. Tiny cuts on her knuckles. A small red line near the tip of her finger. She licks it once. The sting is soft. It fades quickly. She wipes her hands on her thighs again. Stone dust joins old stains. Nothing new. Nothing loud. Just the end of one part of the morning. Behind her, the shelter still holds silence. Before her, the earth holds flakes. Beside her, a tool rests. Ready. Waiting. Not for use yet. But for when the need returns. Noma leans back against the tree. Closes her eyes for a breath. Just one. The wind moves through the dry branches. And the moment becomes still again. The bowl is waiting. It always is. Noma does not rush toward it. She looks at it first. Sits for a while. Watches the shadows move around it. Then finally. She reaches. It is not a deep bowl. Just wide enough to cup between both hands. Shaped from clay, long ago. Long before this morning. Perhaps before even she remembers making it. Its rim is uneven. A small crack near the base. But it holds. It always holds. She lifts it slowly. Dust clings to the sides. She brushes it away with her palm. One pass. Then another. The dry earth falls in quiet flecks to the ground. Some stick to her skin. She does not mind. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath slow. And return now, to a quieter time. A time of stone, and sky, and the steady rhythm of Noma's world. There is no hurry here. No noise. Only soft earth beneath your feet, and the warmth of another ancient day unfolding. Slowly. Like the light across a still morning. The inside is empty. But it is not hollow in the way of sadness. It is empty like the pause between heartbeats. Like silence before a song. She holds the bowl to her chest. Lightly. Without squeezing. Like holding a memory. Not a thing. Then she stands. One knee first. Then the other. A slow rise. Not from tiredness. Just the way of movement. The way bodies take their time. Her shadow stretches behind her. Soft and long. Pointing back toward the flint pile. Back toward the shaped tool, still resting on bark. But she faces the other way now. Toward the place of water. The low hollow in the earth. Past the grove. Past the old tree with the smooth trunk. A short walk. But still a walk. She steps forward. Not fast. Just enough to begin. Her feet move quietly over the packed ground. Not because she's sneaking. But because she's listening. A stone shifts under her heel. She pauses. Adjusts. Continues. The wind moves. Dry leaves scatter to her left. She does not follow them. She knows the way. The bowl rests in her palms. Still empty. Still light. But it won't be for long. The path is not marked. But it is known. By her soles. By her breath. By the slow rhythm of her steps. There is no urgency. There is only time. And the sound of the breeze. and the feel of the bowl, and the memory of water. The trees begin to thin. Just a little. Enough to widen the light. Enough to signal she is near. Noma's feet slow. They were never fast. But now. They pause more often. They listen. They breathe. Ahead, the ground dips. Not a steep drop. Just a gentle cradle in the earth. A place where water rests. Sometimes. Not always. But this morning. She hopes. She walks the final steps with more care. The bowl held firmly now. But not tightly. Balanced. Like carrying stillness itself. A bird flutters nearby. Its wings beat once. Then vanish. The sound is brief. And then forgotten. Now she sees the hollow. A shallow curve pressed into the land. Dark earth at its center. Damp. She smells it before she sees it. Moisture. Soft mud. The scent of green things, pressed, crushed, sun-warmed. Faint, but full. Like a memory returning. The water is there. Just enough. A shallow pool, gathered from the night's air. Not from rain, for there has been none. But from dew, from mist, from the breath of the land itself. She crouches near it. Not abruptly. But slowly. One knee, then the next. The bowl rests on her lap. Still empty. Still waiting. The pool is no more than a hand deep. The surface is still. Unmoving. A soft mirror of sky and leaf. She watches it. She does not speak. There is no one to hear. Her hands reach forward. Not into the water. Not yet. They hover. Feeling the coolness that lifts from the surface. Feeling the hush that lives here. Beneath the water. Dark pebbles. Smooth. Motionless. Above them, floating bits of plant. A thin thread of algae. A fallen leaf. A speck of dust. Everything still. Everything quiet. Noma leans closer. Her breath stirs the water slightly. She waits again. Watches it settle. Watches the pattern return. It always does. Then. She lowers the bowl. Not to scoop. Not yet. Just to place it beside the hollow. To let it sit there. To let it know the place. She reaches into the pouch at her waist. A small bundle of dried grass. She unwraps it gently. Inside, a scrap of folded leaf. She uses this. To skim the surface. Not fast. Not rough. Just to move away what floats. So the water is clearer. Easier to take. She drags the leaf across. Tiny ripples follow. She watches them fan outward. Fade. Then drag again. Slow. Precise. Almost motionless. When the pool is still again, she leans forward. And places the bowl in the water. Only the edge. She tips it just so. The water begins to enter. Not a splash. Not a rush. Just a slow trickle. A soft pull. The earth letting go. She holds the bowl steady. Watches as the liquid rises. Dark at first, then clearer as it climbs. There is no noise. Only the faint sound of breath. Of leaves shifting. Of one drop joining another. She does not fill it all the way. That would be greedy. That would spill. She fills it only to the middle. Just enough to carry. Just enough for now. She lifts it carefully. The weight is new. Not heavy. But different. Present. A droplet clings to the rim. She watches it. It wobbles. Then slips. Falls back to the pool. Returns home. She smiles, not broadly. Just a flicker at the edge of her mouth. Then the bowl comes to her chest again. Cradled. Balanced. She sits beside the hollow for a little longer. There is no hurry. She watches the way the water reflects the trees. How the sky bends in it. How time sits down beside her. And does not speak. Just waits. The bowl is full. The hollow still has more. But not for today. She never takes all. only what is offered. A breeze moves through again, and the surface shivers, and the moment passes. The bowl is full now, and everything is different. Noma does not rise quickly. She lingers beside the hollow, letting her breath steady, letting her fingers remember the feel of balance. She shifts her legs beneath her. A careful lean. Then one foot presses into the earth. Then the next. Her knees straighten slowly. Not from pain, but from ritual. From repetition. The same rise she has done for many seasons. Each time the bowl is full, the body remembers. She holds it now in both hands. Not close to her chest, not far from it either. Cradled. Like a nest in her palms. She watches the surface of the water. Still. Level. Shivering slightly with every breath she takes. She steps. The earth here is soft. But not muddy. It yields beneath her toes, then holds. A perfect stillness underfoot. The wind rustles in the trees again. Dry leaves dance above. They do not fall. But they whisper. As if watching. As if remembering. Each step she takes is slow. Not just because of the bowl. But because of the silence. It asks for respect. She walks through it like smoke. Like mist. Unfolding through the morning. Her feet follow the same path back. Not marked by sign or stone. But remembered in muscle. In the way she lifts her heel. In the distance between steps. A root crosses the way. She pauses. Lifts her foot over it. Gazes down into the bowl. Still full. Still calm. She breathes again. And continues. The trees begin to crowd again. The same ones she passed earlier. They say nothing. But their shadows lean a little shorter now. The light has changed. Not dramatically. But enough. Enough to show time has passed. She does not turn to look behind. There is no need. The hollow is always there. Waiting. Quiet. Holding its own silence. The weight in her hands is not heavy. But it demands attention. She can feel it in her arms. In her shoulders. In her fingertips. The bowl presses gently into her skin. Warm now. Warmed by her body. By the sun. By the journey. And the water inside? Still unmoving. Still listening. A gust of wind brushes her side. She slows. Letting the bowl settle. Not letting the wind win. She turns her back slightly to it. Shields the rim. Protects the surface. Nothing spills. Nothing breaks. Only the soft press of air passing by. She walks again. There's the flat stone. The one with the moss streak. She steps around it. Like always. Like every morning that comes with thirst. A few more steps now. The grove parts again. The shelter is near. She can see the edge of it. The brush covering the opening. The dark curve of shade beneath the canopy. She steps toward it. Not faster. Still the same rhythm. Still the same pause with each step. Still the same attention. The water must not tremble. It must not rise or fall. It must arrive as it left the hollow, quiet. Complete. Undisturbed. Now the shelter greets her. Still in shadow. Still holding coolness. She bends at the entrance. Knees lower once again. She steps inside. It is darker here. But not unknown. Not unfriendly. She kneels before the flat place, a small circle of stone, cleared long ago. She sets the bowl down upon it. Hands open. Fingers release. The bowl rests. The surface still. She sits back. Breathes. Watches the water reflect the dim light. It holds no ripple. No memory of the walk. Just water. Just here. Just now. And the morning is not yet over. But it has changed. Not all things in Noma's day are gathered. Some things are tended. Kept. Remembered. The fire is one of them. It does not always burn. Not all through the night. Not in the season of heat. But the circle remains. A shape in the shelter. A place of warmth and story. Of embers and quiet hours. Before the flame comes, there are always the stones. The ash. The dust of what was. So she returns now. Not to light the fire. Not yet. But to sit with it. To ready the space. To brush the past into order. So the present may begin. There is no urgency. The fire does not ask for haste. Only care. Only quiet. Only hands that remember. The morning has shifted. The light now lies longer across the ground. And Noma. Noma is near the circle again. She does not hurry. She does not speak. She moves with the same quiet as before, the same rhythm as water filling a bowl. The same patience as wind combing dry grass. The fire is not burning. Not yet. Its place is marked only by memory. And by stones. 7 stones. Placed long ago. Not by her. By others. Hands she does not remember, but whose shape she follows. She kneels just outside the ring. Feet tucked beneath her. Back straight. Eyes calm. She looks at the stones. Some are dark. Streaked with soot. Others are pale. Smooth from many seasons. All are cold now. She places her hand on one. The one shaped like a broken tooth. She does not expect warmth. It offers none. Only roughness. Stillness. The ash inside the ring is thin. Faintly grey. Featherlight. It holds the shape of what once burned, a curve of a twig, the outline of a leaf. Nothing sharp. Nothing whole. She reaches for a flat stick, set beside the wall. Smooth on one end. Darkened from many mornings. With this, she begins the brushing. Not fast. Not forceful. Just a soft drag across the ash. A careful sweep. One curve at a time. The ash stirs. Lifts a little. Spins. Then settles again. She doesn't try to clean it. Not completely. Only to shift it. To remind the fire that space is still kept for it. She brushes again. A few strokes to the left. Then to the right. The sound is faint, a whisper on stone. Some of the ashes cling to the stick. She taps it gently. The sound is soft. Wood on stone. A tap that barely echoes. One of the stones leans inward. It always has. She touches it. Just to feel its weight. Its edge is chipped. She knows the shape without seeing. She picks a small pebble from the circle's edge. Moves it 2 hand spans back. It had rolled too close. It does not belong there. Not in the ring. A bit of last night's ember sits buried. Tiny. Dark. She sees the faintest hint of red, or maybe she imagines it. She does not blow on it. Not yet. It must rest. It must want to wake. A single feather rests nearby. Pale. Frayed. She lifts it. Brushes the ash from its tip. Then places it in a bowl carved from bark. The feather may burn later. Or it may not. Either is fine. She adjusts her knees. The stone beneath her shifts. She presses her fingers to the ground to steady herself. The circle is ready. Not lit. Not warm. But ready. The kindling will come. Later. Not now. For now. The stones have been spoken to. The ash has been stirred. The old warmth has been remembered. She leans back. Hands in her lap. The circle before her. Not empty, but resting. The fire is not here. And still. She is not cold. She rises slowly. The air inside the shelter feels still. Cool. Holding the hush of the morning just a little longer. The ball of water sits quiet behind her. The fire circle lies in wait. Ashes brushed. Stones touched. Now. It is time to gather. Kindling. Dry things. Cracked things. Nothing green. Nothing too large. Just the brittle. The broken. The light. She steps outside, ducking beneath the shelter's edge. The world beyond greets her again, muted, soft, covered in slow shadow. The grove ahead is sparse. Trees bend away from each other. Old stumps lean in strange shapes. The kindling lies between them. If the night has not hidden it too well. Noma's feet press into dry ground. She does not lift them far. Just enough. To move. To feel. The soil is dappled with leaf and bark. She squats beside a fallen branch. Old. Split down the middle. Ants once lived there. But it is hollow now. Empty. She peels back the flaking bark. Slowly. Not to tear it, just to let it go. The underside is curled and grey. She breaks off a piece. Snaps it between both hands. The sound, a soft crack. Not loud. More like a whisper leaving the wood. She places it under her arm. Continues. A few steps later, a bundle of grass. Dry. Folded on itself. Not thick. Not wet. She lifts it gently. Shakes it once. Dust rises. No insects stir. She takes only part of it. Half the handful. Enough to light, not too much. Nearby, a scatter of pine needles. Some still sharp. Some already curled at the tips. She runs her fingers through them. Like combing hair. Gathering the ones that bend easily. The ones that crack when pressed. She adds them to the growing bundle. A twig lies by a root. Thin. Straight. Perfect for the center. She picks it up, turns it in her fingers. One end is split. It will burn well. She walks further. Slowly. Watching the ground, watching the corners of tree trunks, watching the shadows. She doesn't search in haste. Kindling comes to those who move softly. It does not like being hunted. It prefers to be found. A curved sliver of bark leans against a stone. She crouches. Lifts it. The inner side is pale, as if it once held water. Now it is dry. Light. It makes no sound as she adds it to the bundle. It fits easily. Her arms are full now. Not overflowing. Just full. Just right. She turns back toward the shelter. Her steps retrace the way she came. Not exactly. But close. Each twig. Each leaf. Each curl of bark, collected with care. Chosen for the way it listens to flame. For the way it gives up smoke. She ducks once more beneath the shelter's low entrance. Inside, the fire circle waits. The stones unchanged. The ash undisturbed. She kneels again. Places the bundle beside her. Arranges the pieces, smallest to largest. The pine needles. The grass. The bark. The splintered wood. She lays them in the center. Not stacked. Not careless. But shaped like a thought. Like a promise. Like breath waiting to rise. And then she pauses. Looking at the work. Looking at the stillness. The kindling is gathered. The fire is not yet lit. But everything is ready. And readiness, in this life, is enough for now. She sits still for a long while. Hands resting in her lap. Back straight. Eyes low. The kindling lies in the circle, a quiet shape. Not yet flame. But not just wood, either. It is something else now. A waiting. A whisper. The wind outside brushes the shelter's edge. A low sound. Like someone speaking through cloth. Soft. Interrupted. Then quiet again. Noma leans forward. She reaches for a hollow stick, thin, polished, a little scorched at one end. She turns it once in her hands. Then twice. There is no rush. She sets it aside. Then, from beneath a woven mat, she draws a pouch. Small. Soft. Tied with sinew. Inside, a bit of yesterday's ember. Wrapped in dry grass. Carefully saved. Nestled like an egg. She unwraps it. Gently. It's barely a coal. Dark. Crumbly. At its core, maybe still warm. Or maybe not. She doesn't touch it with fingers. Only breath. She brings it to her lips. Breathes on it. Slowly. Not to wake it. Just to remind it. She is here. One breath. Then another. Nothing yet. No glow. No smoke. She adds a single pine needle. Then a curl of grass. A whisper of bark. She folds them around the ember. Not tight. Not loose. Like a nest made of dry thoughts. She breathes again. A little deeper. Still slow. The nest shifts. A tremble. Or was it just her hands? A thin line of smoke rises. Not steady. But real. She leans in. Eyes soft. Lips parted. Another breath. Then another. The smoke curls now. Lazily. Like a snake that forgot it had somewhere to be. She sets the bundle down in the kindling. Tucks it in. Near the driest bits. She doesn't glow. Not yet. Just watches. The smoke threads upward. She lifts the hollow stick. Places it near her lips. Points the other end toward the ember. And blows. One slow stream of breath. Long. Even. The smoke thickens. A hint of red inside. She pauses. Waits. Watches. Then another breath. Through the tube. Guided. Focused. A flicker. She sees it. It tries to rise. Then dims. But it tried. She adds a strand of dried moss. And waits. The red glows again. This time, stronger. Another breath. The flame finds the edge of the bark. Climbs a little. Then settles. It is not a fire yet. But it is no longer a coal. It is. Beginning. Noma lowers the stick. Places it beside her. She watches the tiny flame. It leans toward a curl of dry grass. Touches it. The grass blackens. Curls tighter. Then. Gives up to fire. She does not add more. Not yet. Let it grow slow. Let it breathe first. The stones hold the warmth. They remember this. She does too. The smoke rises higher now. Out the shelter's opening. Thin. Almost sweet. Noma shifts her weight. Crosses her legs. Folds her hands again. She does not speak. There is no need. The fire is awake. Small. Soft. But awake. It crackles once. A dry sound. Like someone stepping on an old leaf. And then, it settles again. Burning low. Burning clean. Noma watches. And waits. And says nothing. The old circle is whole again. Not bright. But alive. Enough for warmth. Enough for tea. Enough to remind her that some things return. When cared for. When remembered. When breathed upon gently. The fire, now breathing on its own, burns low. Slow. Even. Noma does not feed it too much. That would make it hurry. Make it talk too loud. This fire should whisper. She leans to the side. Reaches into the woven satchel beside her. Fingers brush familiar shapes, rounded, cool. She lifts one. A clay pot. Small. Thick. Smooth in her hands, worn from many mornings. The rim is chipped slightly. Just a little. It has always been that way. She cradles it in her palm. Like a fruit. Like something that grew from the earth. And in a way, it did. She turns it once. Twice. Then she rises. The pot is empty. And outside the shelter, just beyond the flat stone path, there is water. Not a river. Not a stream. But a shallow bowl in the earth, fed by yesterday's rain. She steps out, bare feet brushing the ground. The sun has risen a little more. Still soft. Still gold. The air smells of morning leaves. And distant wet bark. She walks slowly. No need to rush. The pot is light. The air is kind. The water hole lies beneath a bent tree, its limbs crooked, its bark peeled like old paper. Noma kneels beside it. The surface is still. Not clear. But not muddy either. Just settled. Tiny things swim in it. Not many. Just enough to say it is alive. She dips her fingers in first. Not to gather. Just to feel. The water is cool. Very cool. It hasn't met the sun yet. She tips the pot. Lets it fill slowly. No bubbles. No splashes. Only the sound of clay meeting water, a quiet sigh. The water reaches the rim. She lifts the pot. Lets a little spill over. Just a little. It drips down her wrist. Then onto the ground. She does not wipe it away. Let the water go where it wants. That is its way. She stands again. Turns back. The shelter waits in shadow. The smoke curls higher now. Still thin. Still grey. She walks slowly back. Pot held with 2 hands. Careful. Level. At the shelter's edge, she ducks beneath the roof again. The fire greets her, still small, still whispering. She kneels beside it. Places the pot just outside the heat. Not too close. The clay should warm slowly. She shifts a stone. Then another. Creates a hollow, a nest of sorts, for the pot to sit in once it's ready. She moves with care. Each stone turned gently. Tested with her palm. Too hot. Not yet. She adds a single twig to the fire. The flame accepts it, touches it, pulls it in. Noma waits. Hands resting on her knees. The pot of water sits beside her. Warming. Becoming part of the fire's breath. She does not stir it. She does not cover it. Only watches. In time. It will begin to shift. To shimmer. But for now, it is only water. And clay. And heat. Becoming something else. Slowly. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath slow. And return now, to a quieter time. A time of stone, and sky, and the steady rhythm of Noma's world. There is no hurry here. No noise. Only soft earth beneath your feet, and the warmth of another ancient day unfolding. Slowly. Like the light across a still morning. The pot sits in the ring of stones. Not on the flame, beside it. Near enough to feel the warmth. Far enough not to startle. Inside, the water is still. Mostly. But something is changing. Noma watches it closely. Her eyes soft, not blinking often. She knows what to look for. Not steam. Not bubbles. Not yet. Just a shimmer. A shifting in the surface. Like the water is remembering something. Remembering movement. Remembering heat. She doesn't move. The fire is quiet, a slow, steady eater of twigs. It breathes inward, then out again, like a calm animal. She leans in. Listens. Not with her ears. With her bones. The clay begins to tick. Just softly. A crackling whisper. Like tiny footsteps on dry leaves. This is not breakage. This is life. Waking. She reaches out, touches the rim. Warm. Not hot. She shifts the pot. Just slightly. A small scrape against stone. The fire reacts, a flicker, then stillness again. The water responds. A soft bubble forms, not in the middle, at the edge. A dome. It holds for a moment, then pops without sound. Then another. Not many. Just 2. Then still again. It's not boiling. It's not even simmering. It's thinking about it. Noma smiles. Barely. She does not reach for herbs. Not yet. This water is not ready to hold anything. She leans back. Lets her arms rest behind her. Palms down on the smooth earth. Outside, the sky is pale blue. Still early. The birds are quiet again. Resting between bursts. A single insect buzzes, then disappears. The fire cracks once. Not loud. Not sharp. Just a reminder, it is there. The water shivers again. More bubbles this time. not rising quickly. Just drifting upward. From the bottom of the clay. They reach the surface. Break. Vanish. She waits. The scent begins to change. Not the scent of herbs. Not of tea. Just water. Warming. Smelling more like itself. She moves closer. Adds a twig. Just one. Then waits. The flame curls higher. Touches the bottom of the pot. Holds it gently. The water answers. A cluster of small bubbles now. Not in a hurry. No rush. But certain. They rise. Pop. Rise again. Still not boiling. Not truly. This is the moment before. The soft edge. The threshold. She listens again. The pot sings a little now. A high sound. Barely there. Like breath through a reed. This is the sound she loves. The sound of almost. Of nearly. She closes her eyes. For a moment, it could be any day. Any year. Any breath she's ever taken. The world does not move. Only the fire. Only the water. Only time, in its slow circle. And Noma, waiting for the boil. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath slow. And return now, to a quieter time. A time of stone, and sky, and the steady rhythm of Noma's world. There is no hurry here. No noise. Only soft earth beneath your feet, and the warmth of another ancient day unfolding. Slowly. Like the light across a still morning. The water has changed. It no longer waits. It no longer wonders. Now. It moves. The tiny bubbles become many. Rising in quiet rhythm, breaking the surface softly, then beginning again. The pot hums with heat. Low. Even. Alive. Noma watches a while longer. Then, slowly, she reaches again for her satchel. This time, her fingers find a bundle. Wrapped in dried grass. Tied with a thin strip of bark. She brings it close. Unwraps it carefully. Inside, roots. Pale and fibrous. Curled like fingers. Dry, but still fragrant. Not strong. Not sharp. Just earthy. The kind of root that softens when warmed. The kind that steeps without protest. She lifts one, smells it. Then lowers it gently into the pot. It does not sink all at once. It floats a little, then turns, then folds. The water takes it in slowly. And begins to speak around it. She adds another. Then another. Just a few. Not many. The scent begins to shift. Barely. From neutral warmth to something rounder. Rooted. Familiar. She stirs the pot with a small stick. Not a spoon. Not carved. Just smooth from use. The roots turn. Drift. Release their color. The water grows darker. Only a little. A soft brown. The color of riverbank mud. Of morning tea. Of old bark soaked in rain. Noma watches it happen. She doesn't stir again. She lets the water do its work. The fire burns lower now. Its hunger fed. Its purpose nearly complete. She waits for the sound to change. Not the bubbling, but the pitch. It grows thinner. Sharper. That means it's done. She lifts the pot carefully, with both hands. Cradling it against her side. The surface ripples gently. She does not spill. She sets it on a flat stone. Lets it settle. She reaches for a second vessel, a shallow bowl. Wider. Cooler. She tips the pot slowly. The liquid streams out. A thin, steady pour. No rush. No splash. The scent rises with it, a blend of warmth, and root, and clay. The sound is soft. A stream hitting hollow stone. She pours enough for now. Then stops. Sets the pot down. She lifts the bowl, brings it close. It warms her hands. Not hot. Just enough. She does not sip yet. She simply holds it. Smells it. Feels the heat move into her skin. There is no ceremony. No words. Only presence. A bowl of warmth. A moment of stillness. A pause before the next breath. The bowl is empty now. Set gently on a flat stone near the fire. Steam has faded from its surface. The scent still lingers. But Noma does not stay beside the warmth. The day has begun. The fire is no longer her only task. She rises slowly. Knees straightening. Back lengthening. She pauses halfway up. Then finishes the motion, unfolding like a fern in morning light. Her satchel is already packed. Nothing loud. Nothing heavy. Just what is needed for gathering. The forest is not far. It begins just beyond the slope, where grass gives way to dappled shade, and stones soften into loam. She walks slowly. Not from tiredness. Not from age. But because there is no reason to rush. Her feet know the way. Bare soles pressing against cool dirt. Each step a whisper. Each pace a memory. The path is not marked. Not carved. It simply exists, worn into being by years of quiet travel. By her. By others before her. By small feet. Old ones. By habit. The trees appear one by one. Not tall. Not thick. Just enough to cast a hush over the world. Light breaks between their branches. Narrow streams of gold. Dust floating through them. Still air catching each mote, holding it in place. She ducks beneath a low limb. Brushes past a thin-leafed shrub. The smell of crushed green rises beneath her hand. She knows this place. Not in the way one knows a room. But in the way one knows breath. Pulse. Stillness. The trees do not greet her. They do not move. But their presence wraps around her all the same. Beneath her feet, the path curves slightly, left, then right. A stone juts from the soil. She steps over it. She remembers it. She has stepped over it for many seasons. It has never moved. She slows. There is no wind. Only the sound of her movement. And even that is quiet. The air is cooler here. More damp. It smells of bark and thyme. She pauses beside a tree. Its bark is pale, smooth in places. She places a hand upon it. Lets her fingers rest there. The tree does not react. But something in her chest settles. She breathes in slowly. Then lets it out. Very slowly. Through her nose. The satchel shifts gently at her side. She continues walking. A bird calls, one short note. Then silence again. She turns toward a break in the trees. Sunlight glows there. Pale, filtered, kind. That is where she will begin gathering. But not yet. She takes her time. One step. Then another. Each one quiet. Each one real. And the path continues, beneath the trees, unchanged. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath slow. And return now, to a quieter time. A time of stone, and sky, and the steady rhythm of Noma's world. There is no hurry here. No noise. Only soft earth beneath your feet, and the warmth of another ancient day unfolding. Slowly. Like the light across a still morning. The light has changed. Not brighter. Not stronger. Just shifted. Tilted gently through the leaves. Noma crouches now. Her knees bend without thought. Her toes spread slightly for balance. Her satchel rests softly beside her. She does not begin immediately. She watches first. Her eyes scan the ground, slowly, deliberately, as if reading a quiet pattern only she can see. There is no hurry. The plants will not move. The roots will not run. She sees the first cluster, low to the ground, small leaves in sets of 3, edges smooth, green tinged with grey. She leans forward slightly. One hand presses to the ground for balance, the other hovers above the leaves. She touches them gently. Not to pick. Just to feel. The stems are cool. Brittle near the top. But flexible near the soil. She lets her fingers follow them downward, down to where the plant meets the earth. There, the base thickens slightly. The sign of root beneath. She moves carefully. Thumb and fingers gather the stem low. She tugs, not hard. Just enough. The plant rises slowly, bringing with it a long, thin root, pale beige, still damp with soil. No tearing. No snapping. Just release. She holds it up, examines it. The surface is smooth, dull in color, lightly veined. It will boil well. Soften quickly. Provide a little strength, a little warmth. She wipes it gently against her thigh. The dirt smudges away. The root goes into her satchel. She reaches for another. Each time, she pauses. Not to think, but to notice. To feel. To listen. To match her breath to the breath of the forest. Another root. Then another. All with the same care. The earth crumbles softly beneath her hands. Dry in places, moist in others. Her fingers become streaked with brown. She does not mind. This is the way. A beetle crawls nearby. She watches it move, slow and certain. It disappears beneath a leaf. A small wind passes through the trees. The leaves shift gently. A whisper. Then stillness again. She finds a new plant, around a leaf, fuzzy to the touch. She pinches off just one. Rubbed between her fingers, it releases a soft scent, something like mint, but earthier, quieter. She adds it to a separate pouch. Not to eat. To steep. Or to press against the skin on warm nights. She continues. Root. Leaf. Stem. Not many. Only what's needed. The satchel slowly fills. Not heavy. Just enough to press gently against her hip. Her knees ache a little now. She straightens again, slowly, carefully. The light has moved once more. The shadows stretch longer. The sun has tilted higher. But the forest still holds her. Soft. Green. Unchanging. She moves forward, a few more steps, toward another patch. The gather is not finished. And there is still time. The sun has climbed higher now, though its light is still softened by the wide canopy above. Noma steps carefully, satchel resting against her side, the faint scent of roots and leaves carried lightly on the air. Each footstep presses gently into the forest floor. Damp. Yielding. Cool to the skin. She moves to a new patch. An older one. One she hasn't visited in some time. Here, the plants grow differently. The leaves are broader, and the ground is softer still, spongy from old rain and many seasons of fallen growth. She kneels again. Slower this time. Her knees bend with a soft crackle of tension, but she doesn't mind. The earth welcomes her weight. She brushes back a layer of fallen leaves. Brown. Crumpled. Brittle with age. Beneath them, the soil is darker. Rich and still. Her fingers pause, hovering above a cluster of pale shoots. They are small. Not remarkable. Easily overlooked. But Noma sees them. And more than that, she remembers. There is something buried here. She digs slowly, not with haste, not with force. Just steady motions, fingers spreading the soil, thumbs pushing gently aside. Bit by bit, the shoots give way, revealing something thicker beneath. Something more solid. A tuber. Large. Wider than her palm. Its surface is rough, ringed faintly. Flecked with dirt. She lifts it carefully. The root resists. But not much. She turns it in her hands, brushing away clumps of earth. This is a good one. A strong one. Not something she had planned for. But something she welcomes. She holds it for a moment. Just holds it. No rush to place it in her satchel. No eagerness to move on. Just the quiet appreciation of what the earth still offers. Around her, the trees are still. The air hums faintly with distant insect wings. A soft breeze moves the highest leaves, barely enough to shift a shadow. She places the tuber gently into the satchel, nestled among the smaller roots. Its weight settles in. Enough for today, perhaps. But still. She waits. She does not rise yet. She remains crouched, hands in the soil, feeling the pulse of the place. Remembering. Years ago, she came here with her mother. The same patch. The same ground. Her mother's hands had moved the same way, steady, gentle, certain. Noma had been smaller then. Watching. Learning. And now, she gathers alone. But not truly alone. The memory lingers, like the warmth of sunlight long after it has passed. She smooths the soil again, returns the leaves where they were. She speaks no words. But her breath is even. Her thoughts soft. The gift is taken. But the place is not disturbed. She stands. Her joints stiffen, then ease. The satchel is fuller now. Heavier against her body. But she carries it without strain. She takes one last look at the patch. The way the light filters in. The small curve of roots still untouched. They'll remain. They always do. And then, she turns back toward the clearing, slowly, step by step. The forest does not say goodbye. It never does. The satchel is full. Not heavy, but full. It presses gently against Noma's side, warm where it touches her skin. Her shoulders shift slightly. She adjusts the strap. Not out of discomfort, just habit. The forest breathes around her. Still. Soft. Green layered over green. The air smells faintly of crushed leaf, and old bark, and something deeper still, a dampness that never fully dries. Her feet follow the worn path. Not a trail, not carved. But known. Walked many times. Shaped by memory, and small repetitions. She steps where she always steps. Avoids the same roots. Brushes past the same branch. The light is different now. It comes from above, but also from the side. It angles through the trees, long and slow. Each shadow stretches farther. Long fingers of shade reaching across moss, across stone, across the quiet ground. A bird calls nearby. Not loud. Just a brief note. It echoes once, then fades. Noma doesn't look toward it. She's heard it before. It belongs to the day. Her foot brushes a stone. Rounded. Half buried. She remembers it. It has always been there. A marker. A silent companion to the path. She pauses, just for a moment. Listens. The trees rustle faintly, a soft flutter, like breathing. There is no urgency. The satchel rests against her hip. Still full. Still warm. Her toes curl slightly with each step. The earth beneath her feet is cool, with pockets of warmth where the sun filters in. She passes a bush she knows. Its branches are thin, its leaves shaped like teardrops. In spring, it holds small flowers. Now, only leaves. She reaches out and lets one brush the back of her hand. The sensation is barely there. But it grounds her. Marks the moment. She steps again. And again. Each step like a quiet thought, rising, fading, gone. The trees begin to thin. Not suddenly. Just slightly. The light spreads wider. The shadows soften. The sound of wind grows faintly louder, no longer caught in the branches above. She knows she is nearing home. There is a rock she always looks for, flat on top, with a long crack down the center. She sees it now. Half in sun, half in shadow. She touches it briefly, one hand resting on its surface. Warm on one side. Cool on the other. She moves past it. The clearing is near. She can smell it, the scent of the fire, burned low through the morning. She does not rush. Even now. The path has not changed. And the fire will still be there. She walks the last stretch slowly, each step matching her breath. One step. And another. And another still. Until at last, the trees fall away. And the open sky returns. The fire is not high. It never is during the day. A low, soft smolder, its glow gentle beneath a bed of pale wood ash. Noma sits with one leg tucked beneath the other. Her satchel rests beside her. The shape of it slightly slumped, rounded at the base, bulging where the roots have settled. She does not open it right away. She looks first at the fire. The shape of the coals. The way one log leans against another. The edge of a burnt stick, crumbling softly at its tip. She reaches forward. Finds a dry length of wood in the small pile near the pit. Places it gently atop the embers. Not forcefully. Just enough for it to catch. The wood accepts the warmth slowly. Not with a flame, but with a faint darkening at the base. A curl of smoke. A soft sigh from the coals. Satisfied, Noma turns to the satchel. She lifts it gently. Unties the binding at the top. Opens it wide. The scent rises, damp roots, crushed green leaves, soil still clinging to the fibers. She places the satchel in her lap and reaches in with both hands. One by one, she removes the gathered things. A tuber, large and rough-skinned. She sets it on the flat stone beside her. It makes a soft thud. Dull. Solid. Another follows, smaller, slightly curved. Then a handful of thin roots, still holding the shape of the earth they grew in. She lays them out in rows. Not precise. Just simple. A natural order her hands know well. Her fingers move without thought. Each motion practiced. Unhurried. She brushes the roots with a flat piece of bark, sweeping away bits of soil. Some cling. Some fall easily. The fire cracks once. Not loud. Just a shift. A dry split in one of the new pieces of wood. She does not look up. Her hands move to the leaves, slender, folded, slightly bruised from the walk. She smooths each one. Lays them flat on a woven mat near her feet. They will dry there. Slowly. Under the dappled light. There is no need to dry them quickly. Nothing needs to happen quickly. Noma shifts her weight slightly. The earth beneath her is warm where the sun touches it. Cool in the shadow. She pauses. Looks at what she has gathered. Not much. Not too little. Just enough. The rows are uneven. But they make sense to her. Roots together. Leaves separate. The larger pieces near the fire. The tender ones farther from the heat. She presses one root with her thumb. Firm. Moist. Good. She says nothing. There is no one to speak to. Only the fire. And the rustle of the leaves. And the slow, steady beat of the day moving forward. She brushes her hands together. Dirt flakes away. Falls to the ground like dust. She looks once more at the satchel, nearly empty now. Just a few curled stems and a bit of loose soil. She tips it gently, shakes it once, then folds it closed. The sorting is done. Not finished. Because nothing is ever truly finished. But done for now. She sets the satchel aside and rests her hands in her lap. Not moving. Not planning. Just being. The smoke curls upward. The leaves lie flat. The roots rest in place. All of it, quiet. Still. Enough. The fire is low. The light is long. And Noma is still. Not asleep. Not yet. But close. She is near the coals now, where the warmth rises slow and steady. Her hands are quiet. Her breath is soft. This is the time of fire's hush, when no tools are needed, no steps required. Just warmth. And stillness. And the faint hum of the earth. The satchel is empty. The roots are laid out. The leaves are resting. The day does not end quickly. It fades slowly. So slowly, you can barely feel it go. Noma leans forward slightly, her elbows resting on her knees. She holds her hands out over the coals, not close, just near enough to feel the faint curl of warmth that drifts upward in small waves. Her palms open. Fingers loose. They've worked enough today. Not too much. But enough. There is dirt beneath her nails. A small cut near her thumb. Nothing deep. Just a red line where the bark scratched her. She examines it without concern. It will close. It always does. The skin of her hands is worn, textured, darkened from sun and soil. She turns them over slowly. Back, then palm, then back again. They are her tools. Her memory. Her oldest knowing. She brings them closer to the fire. The coals glow orange. A low hum of heat, not loud, but steady. She doesn't touch the coals. Just watches. The patterns inside them, the cracks, the soft crumbling, the places where the heat pulses deep red then fades again. One coal splits with a soft hiss. It crumbles slightly, revealing a deeper brightness inside. Noma blinks slowly. Her body is still, but not stiff. Relaxed. The stone behind her supports her back. Warmed by the day's light, it holds a gentle heat. She leans into it. The fire pops again. A dry seed inside the wood, perhaps. Just one sound, then quiet again. She reaches to her side. Takes a few of the smaller roots, the thin, pale ones with soft skins. She brushes them once more, lays them in a small clay bowl. No need to cook them. Not tonight. She will chew them slowly, just enough to ease the edge of hunger. Her teeth will do the work. Her tongue will find the flavor. She takes one root between her fingers. Bites gently. The taste is bitter at first. Then faintly sweet. Not strong. Not unpleasant. She chews slowly. Swallows even slower. Each bite measured. Each breath steady. The fire leans into her rhythm. Or perhaps it is the other way around. Another bite. Another slow chew. Another small swallow. Nothing more. She places the rest of the roots beside her. There is no rush. They will be here later. Or tomorrow. The wind shifts. Carries the scent of dust. And smoke. And something far off, a dry branch falling, or the sigh of a bird's wings overhead. She doesn't turn to look. The fire is all she needs now. Her hands hover again over the coals. Then lower, resting once more in her lap. The crack near her thumb has darkened slightly. But it does not sting. She presses it lightly. Feels the pulse beneath. Alive. Still working. Still whole. Her eyes begin to close. Not sleep yet. But the edge of it. She leans further into the stone behind her. The fire dimming now. Not dying. Just softening. It will burn through the night in the slow, careful way it always does. She will feed it once more before sleeping. But not yet. For now, she simply watches. Feels. Breathes. And the coals glow quietly on. Let the fire hold you. Let the warmth settle deep into your chest. There is nothing to do now. No more sorting. No more chewing. Only the pulse of the flame, the stillness of the stone, and the soft weight of sleep, drifting. Gathering. Falling. The sun has not vanished. But it has begun to fall behind the tall ridge. And the shadows stretch longer now, quiet and soft across the dust. Noma remains seated, still beside the fire. But her eyes lift now, drawn to the fading light. It is not sudden. The world never turns quickly here. The day fades the way a breath leaves the body, slowly, and then it's gone. She watches. The trees no longer glow with green. They've turned grey-blue at the edges. Their shadows lean far, long lines drawn gently across the stone. The warmth is leaving the earth, a little at a time. She presses her palm to the dirt beside her. It still holds a whisper of heat. But soon it will cool. Her body shifts. Not much. Just enough to rise slowly, knees unfolding, arms lifting to balance her weight. She stands. Quietly. No sound from her feet on the ground. Only the hush of the wind, moving between branches. Noma looks to where she'll sleep. Not far. A familiar place. Just beyond the fire, near a fallen tree with a smooth hollow trunk. It has always been her place. She walks toward it. Slow steps. Each one placed carefully, though the path is known. The ground here is uneven. But she knows the dips, the little stones, the roots that rise in ridges across the soil. She steps around them with ease. The shadows from the trees reach past her now. One long shape across her ankles, another stretching to the side of the hollow trunk. She kneels. The ground is drier here, covered in soft leaves and broken twigs. She brushes them gently aside. Her hand moves over the earth in soft, circular strokes. Clearing, smoothing, preparing. No hurry, no sharpness. Only the rhythm of her hand moving again and again across the ground. She lifts one flat stone, turns it in her palm, then sets it beside another. They will ring the edge of her resting space. Just a few, enough to mark it, to keep the wind from shifting too many leaves in. She arranges them slowly. One, then another still. Each placed with intention. Each settled gently. She leans forward, brushes away another patch of old bark, then rises again. She walks to a bundle of dried grass nearby, takes a handful, returns. She lays it down within the ring of stones. The sound is soft, like brushing a bundle of feathers against skin. She adds more, then kneels again, spreads the grass with both hands, evening it, fanning it. The shadows have deepened. The last of the light is orange now, faint, but still touching the tops of the trees. It will go soon. She does not rush. She adds a blanket of larger leaves, not heavy, but wide enough to keep the cold earth at bay. She places each one gently. Some overlap, some curl. All of it slow, all of it careful. Her hands press once more into the center, testing the softness. It is enough. She sits beside the place she's prepared. Does not lie down yet. Just sits. The fire is behind her. The wind moves past her. The light begins to fade completely. But there is still warmth on her skin, not from the sun anymore, but from the memory of it. She lets her eyes close. Just for a moment. Not sleep yet. But something near it. Noma sits near the fire's edge. Her resting place is prepared, soft grass beneath wide leaves, a ring of flat stones holding it gently in place. But she is not yet lying down. She looks to the hollow of the fallen tree. It is close, curved with time, weathered smooth. The trunk fell seasons ago. Its bark split gently down one side, and the inside, once hidden, is now open to the wind, the rain, and the hands of those who live nearby. Noma has placed her things there. She leans forward now, slowly, and reaches into the hollow. The light is low, but she knows what she's feeling for. Her fingers find the satchel first. Woven from long grasses, stitched with a cord made of twisted reed. She lifts it carefully, brings it close to her lap. There is nothing inside now. It was emptied earlier, the roots and herbs laid out and sorted. Still, she checks it. Runs her hand inside. Just to feel the weave. Just to know it's there. She sets it beside her sleeping place. Reaches again. The hollow trunk gives a faint creak. A shifting of old wood. Not loud. Not sharp. Just the sound of age. Her hand finds a smooth stone, one she keeps for grinding leaves. She holds it a moment. Not to use it. Just to feel its weight. It is warm from the day, and cool where the shadow touched it. She sets it beside the satchel. Then reaches once more. This time, she finds a bundle, tied together with a strip of bark. Inside are dried leaves, rolled tight. Some for steeping. Some for chewing. She unties the strip. Not to use the leaves, just to check they've stayed dry. She unwraps one slowly. Unrolls the thin leaf. Brings it near her nose. Breathes in. The scent is soft. Earthy. Still faintly bitter. She nods, then wraps it again. Ties the bark back around it. This she tucks beneath her blanket of leaves. Near where her head will rest. A comfort. Not for tonight. But in case she wakes. She leans once more into the hollow of the tree. One last reach. This time, her fingers find the small piece of bone, not a tool, not even shaped. Just a curved bit of something old. She has carried it for seasons. Found it near the river one morning. Smoothed by water. Pale and cool. She does not use it for anything. She just likes to hold it sometimes. Tonight is such a night. She draws it out slowly. Holds it in her palm. Runs her thumb along the edge. Back and forth. Back and forth. There is nothing sharp about it. No point. No line. Just a smoothness. A roundness. A weight. She lies back now, the bone still in her hand. The curve of the tree's hollow supports her side. It fits against her back as if shaped by her sleeping there. The bark does not scratch. It has worn down over time. Her legs stretch out slowly. Not straight, but bent just enough to feel right. She tucks one foot beneath the other. Lets her arms rest beside her. The sky is darker now. A deep grey blue. The stars have begun to show, one by one. Faint pinpoints above the trees. She watches them without thinking. No names for them. No counting. Just watching. The bone in her hand warms against her skin. The fire behind her flickers, low, steady, soft. It does not speak. It does not need to. She listens to the silence. To the slow settling of her breath. To the way her body lets go. Just a little more. With each moment. The fire burns low now. Just embers at the base, a soft flicker of orange casting small shadows that shift slowly across the ground. Noma lies still. Not fully asleep. But no longer quite awake. The curve of the tree's hollow supports her. The earth beneath her is cool, but the stone ring around her resting place holds a little warmth still, just enough to keep the edge of the chill away. Her fingers curl loosely now around the small piece of bone in her palm. She no longer moves it. No longer traces the curve. She only holds it. Barely. Loosely. Like holding a dream that might drift away if held too tight. The leaves above her are barely visible. Only their outlines. Soft shapes that waver gently in the night wind. She listens. Not for anything in particular. Just listening. To the fire. To the insects. To the stillness. Somewhere nearby, a small night creature steps softly through the fallen leaves. Its sound is faint. Not sharp enough to startle, not near enough to stir her. She hears it. Then forgets it. The breeze moves again. It brushes the skin along her arm, slipping through the folds of leaves and grass laid carefully beneath her earlier. She does not reach to pull anything closer. She does not need to. The night is not cold. Not fully. Just cool. Just enough to keep the body still. Her eyes are open. But they don't see much now. Just the curve of the trunk. The shimmer of firelight dancing faintly on bark. The hint of stars overhead. She blinks once. Slowly. Then again. Each blink lasts longer. The world behind her eyelids softer than the one before them. She lets them close. Not from decision. Not from effort. Only because they want to. The warmth of the fire touches her cheek. Not directly. Only the faintest kiss of heat, filtered by the air. Her breathing slows. In. Out. In. Out. The small piece of bone slips a little in her fingers. She does not tighten her grip. If it falls, it falls. There is no need to hold it now. No need to hold anything. Her legs shift slightly, a small adjustment. One foot settling over the other. Then stillness. Stillness all around her. Stillness in her limbs. Stillness in her mind. There are no more things to sort. No more paths to walk. No more routes to gather, no stones to stack, no winds to follow. Only this moment. This warmth. This softness. This darkening quiet. The fire flickers once more, a soft pop, a small rise of smoke. Noma does not stir. Her eyes remain closed. Her breath continues, slow and steady. The world has grown still. The fire has faded. Its flames long gone. Only a quiet bed of embers remains, dull orange beneath thin grey ash. They do not flicker. They do not rise. They only glow. Softly. Faintly. Steady. Noma does not move. She lies as she was. Arms tucked loosely, legs curled in quiet comfort, her back gently curved along the shape of the tree's hollow. The ground beneath her does not shift. The stones do not speak. The leaves above hang in place, still and silent. Only the faintest breeze moves now. A whisper of air. Cool. Dry. Passing through the tall grasses. Swaying them slightly. Not enough to rustle. Only enough to remind the world that the night still breathes. A single moth flutters near the coals, drawn, perhaps, by warmth. Or by habit. Its wings beat softly. A quiet hum. Then it settles. Then stillness again. Noma's breathing continues. In. Out. In. Out. Long. Unhurried. No tension in the chest. No thoughts pushing at the edges of sleep. Just breath. The kind that comes when the body is safe. When the day has ended. When there is no more to do. Her fingers lie open now. The bone she once held rests on the blanket of leaves beside her hand. It did fall. At some point in the dark. Quietly. Softly. She does not know. She did not stir. And the night did not mind. Above her, the stars have shifted. They turn slowly in the sky, their long, silent arc too wide to notice. But they do move. Even in stillness. Even while Noma sleeps. Even when no one watches them. They shine quietly. Pale points in the deep blue. Not sharp. Not blinking. Just there. A witness to the night. The fire lets out a single sound, a faint collapse. One coal shifting into another. No flame. No smoke. Just a soft sigh of settling ash. The insects continue their quiet song. A long, repeating rhythm. Not loud. Not fast. They sing the night into stillness. They sing the stars across the sky. They sing Noma deeper into her rest. Nothing stirs in her limbs. No small movement of fingers. No flutter of eyelids. She is not dreaming. Not yet. Not here. Only resting. Completely. Fully. At peace beneath the open sky. Her warmth held by the curve of the tree behind her. By the leaves beneath her. By the steady rhythm of her breath. The night breathes. And Noma breathes with it. No need to wake. No need to wonder. Only stillness. The wind comes slowly. Not as a gust, not as a chill, but as a breath, soft, drawn from the hills beyond the trees, from the open plain, from the wide places where nothing stirs. It moves low to the ground. Not rustling the tall branches, not shaking the trees, but touching the grasses. Moving over the stones. Passing over Noma. She does not wake. She does not stir. The wind is too soft for that. Too calm. Too gentle. It glides across her cheek, touches the tips of her fingers, moves the leaves gathered at her side. One leaf shifts. Just a little. It lifts from the ground, turns over, settles again. The fire has faded more now. No light remains, only a suggestion of warmth beneath the pale grey ash. Not enough to warm the air. Not enough to see by. But still, it remembers the fire it was. The wind brushes over it. Carries away a thread of ash. Not a cloud. Not a plume. Just a dusting, a soft grey sigh into the night. Noma's face is turned toward the trunk. Her back curved, her arms folded loosely before her. She is not aware of the wind. Not truly. But her body knows it. Feels it. Accepts it. It does not take her warmth. It does not steal her sleep. It simply passes. Like time. Like thought. The wind travels farther, down the slope, through the brush, past a low bend in the stream where water barely moves. Even there, it leaves only the smallest ripple. A shiver across the surface. Gone in a moment. Not even noticed by the frogs tucked beneath the reeds. It circles back, rises slightly, drifts through the high grasses where small creatures sleep beneath mounds of earth and leaf. No cries. No calls. The night is calm. It touches the tall stones stacked at the edge of the clearing. Stones Noma passed that morning, now cold and quiet in the dark. They do not shift. They only hold the air. Let it pass. Let it go. The breath of wind moves like a memory. Something faint. Something gentle. Something that does not ask to be held. It returns to where Noma lies. Brushes once more along her side. The hair at her temple stirs. The fabric of her wrap lifts slightly. A blade of grass leans. Then returns. Her body does not move. Her breath remains even. In. Out. In. Out. The wind does not stay. It continues on, into the trees, beyond the ridge, carrying with it the scent of ash, of dust, of leaves. It does not speak. It only breathes. And the world breathes with it. The stars have moved again. Not suddenly. Not in great leaps. But with the slow patience of night turning toward morning. They are higher now. A little farther west. Still quiet. Still dim. Still watching. Noma does not see them. Her eyes are closed. She has turned slightly toward the earth now, her arm folded beneath her cheek, her knees drawn closer than before. The fire is only memory. No ember glows. No smoke rises. Only a faint ring of warmth held in the stones. Then fading. A few moths remain, still drifting, their wings barely rising, barely falling. Drawn not to light now, but to heat left behind. They land once, pause, then rise again. Then go. Above, the sky is deep blue. Almost black. But not quite. Not the black of shadow. Not the black of fear. Just the dark of a sky too wide to hold. Too vast to name. Too calm to measure. And the stars still move. Quietly. As they have always moved. As they will continue to move. The ground beneath Noma holds her weight without effort. It does not mind her presence. It does not ask her to move. It simply receives her. It has received many. It will receive more. But tonight, it holds only Noma. Wrapped in leaves. Curved in rest. Breathing. The earth is not hard. Not here. She knows this spot. Chose it. There is a smoothness to the soil, a patch of sand just beneath the grass, a hollow worn by years of sleep. By bodies before hers. By nights like this one. She lies within it without needing to think. Without needing to know how the earth remembers. She sinks into it. Her body softens as the night deepens. Nothing presses. Nothing lifts. Just the slow quiet of the hours passing. The stars shift again. One falls. It does not cry out. It does not blaze. It only draws a line so faint, so brief, so still across the wide curve of sky. Noma does not wake. She does not dream. She rests in the place between. Not gone. Not present. Just. Resting. Just there. As still as the tree. As still as the stone. As still as the air between breaths. Even her chest barely rises. Barely falls. Only the slow rhythm remains. In. Out. In. Out. Time moves. But not for her. The stars are above. The earth is below. She is between them. Held. Completely. Quietly. Fully. The world rests beneath a heavy dark. The sky is a blanket of soft black, without edges, without break. Noma lies still, wrapped in the quiet curve of the earth, held by the hollow in the tree, and the soft bed of leaves beneath her. Her breath is slow. Steady. Like a gentle wave pulling in and out, without rush, without pause. Around her, the night holds tight. No birds sing. No animals call. No wind moves. Only the faintest pulse, a heartbeat within the dark, slow and steady, like the breath of the earth itself. The stones that ring the fire's old place sit cold and silent. They have forgotten warmth. They have forgotten flame. Only the stars watch, their quiet eyes steady, waiting for the slow turn of time. Noma does not see them. Her eyes are closed. She is still between sleep and waking, the soft edge of dreams, the quiet hold of rest. No thoughts break her peace. No noises pull her from stillness. Only this dark. Only this breath. Only this calm. The world waits. The night holds. The hours pass. And Noma sleeps. Softly. Deeply. Completely. The night continues its long, slow journey. The dark remains deep and thick, but changes, softly, barely noticed. Around Noma, the world holds its breath. The air is still. Almost too still. As if waiting. The leaves overhead rest without sound. Not trembling. Not moving. The stones lie quiet. Their surfaces cool beneath the gentle press of the night. The earth itself seems to pause. Settling into the waiting. The fire's ashes no longer glow, but still hold a faint memory of warmth, a faint whisper of heat left behind from the day's light. Far off, the river's slow voice hums, a soft, steady murmur of water meeting stone, flowing endlessly, without hurry, without sound sharp enough to break the calm. The wind, which passed softly before, has now stilled completely. No breeze moves the tall grasses. No stirring in the branches. All is still. Still as a breath held. Still as the space between heartbeats. Noma lies beneath the tree's wide arms. Her body curves naturally against the earth. Her breathing slows even more, longer, deeper, stretching the space between each gentle rise and fall. Her hands rest at her sides. Relaxed. Open. Without tension. The night surrounds her completely. A quiet, dark cloak folded softly around her skin. Above, the stars shine dimmer now. Their light muted by the thickening blue that edges closer with every passing moment. Some of the brightest stars fade, becoming less sharp, less distinct. Their steady fires sinking slowly, as the sky begins to soften. The horizon holds a secret. A quiet promise waiting patiently. A pale shade of grey, faint as a whisper, stretches across the far edge of the land. It is not yet light. Not yet dawn. But it is the first breath of dawn. A slow, patient breath, that grows imperceptibly, barely stirring the edges of the dark. The animals that slumbered move now. Not with noise or rush, but small, careful shifts. A bird blinks awake. Its feathers ruffle softly, a small sound swallowed quickly by the still air. A night creature curls deeper into its nest. Settling, not rising. The river's murmur shifts slightly. A deeper note, a longer sigh. Even the earth seems to lean forward, into the coming light. Noma does not wake. She does not stir. She lies in the space between night and dawn, held firmly in the slow passage of time. Her breath is the breath of the dark. Her body the quiet of the earth. She is still. She is calm. She is waiting. The shadows around her lengthen, stretching farther, reaching across the land like the fingers of night's slow hand. And just beyond those shadows, light waits. Let yourself rest here. In the long, quiet pause between night and day. Feel the shadows stretch and soften around you. Let the slow approach of dawn carry you deeper into sleep. The horizon blushes faintly. A thin line of pale pink, soft as a breath, begins to glow beyond the hills. It does not rush. It does not blaze. It simply grows, a quiet promise painted slowly across the sky. The night holds its breath. Then begins to fold back gently, like a slowly closing flower. The stars grow faint. They retreat, one by one, not hurried, not abrupt, but with the steady patience of a sky preparing to sleep. The earth beneath Noma feels cooler now. The night's coolness deepens, settling softly on her skin, on the leaves beneath her, on the stones around the fire's old place. The air is still, but holds a new scent: fresh earth, moist grass, the subtle hint of river water. The quiet hum of the world slowly stirs awake. Noma's breath deepens, slow and even, her chest rising and falling with the gentle rhythm of sleep. She does not open her eyes. She does not move. The sky's new light touches the edge of her hair, warm and soft, like a feather resting lightly. Around her, the grasses catch the faint glow, their blades stretching out, wet with dew. A single bird calls, its song low and distant, not loud enough to startle, only enough to mark the changing hour. The river whispers in the distance, its voice soft and steady, a lullaby for the waking world. The stones near the fire hold the last trace of warmth, but it slips slowly now, a gentle fading. Noma lies in the quiet space between night and day, held in the calm balance of soft shadows and tender light. Her body curves easily, relaxed, at rest. The air tastes faintly sweet, carried on the soft wind that has begun to stir once more. Slowly, the world breathes again. Slowly, the long night folds away. But Noma remains still. Safe. Wrapped in the quiet hush of first light. The sky brightens, but still holds softness. Not harsh light, not sharp shadows. Only a quiet glow, like a thin veil laid over the world. Noma stirs slightly, but does not open her eyes. Her breath remains calm, deep and even. Around her, the land begins to wake. The grasses sway very gently, touched by a light breeze that barely moves the air. Birds call softly now, one or two at a time, their songs slow and measured, like droplets falling quietly into a still pool. The earth feels cool beneath Noma's skin, damp with morning dew. The scent of wet grass and earth rises faintly, carried on the soft wind. The fire's old stones lie quiet and still. No smoke, no heat. Just the faintest memory of the warmth that was. Noma's fingers brush lightly across the leaves beside her, soft and slow, feeling the texture, rough edges, smooth veins, cool and dry. The light grows a little brighter. A warm glow touches the tips of the grasses, turning them golden for a moment. The river hums softly in the distance. Its steady voice carries gently on the wind, a quiet song of movement, flowing endlessly forward. Noma breathes in the slow calm of the morning. She is still held by the earth, held by the quiet. The world waits, slow and patient. Nothing rushes. Nothing demands. Only the gentle unfolding of a new day. Noma blinks. Just once. Then again. Her eyes remain half closed. Still heavy. Still wrapped in rest. She does not sit up. Not yet. There is no need. The sky above her is a pale wash, blue, faintly touched with gold, as if the sun itself is still far behind the hills, waiting to rise fully. Around her, the grasses hold the light. Tiny beads of dew cling to their blades. Clear, perfect. Each one a tiny mirror of the new sky. Noma turns her head slowly. Her cheek brushes the bed of leaves. They crinkle softly under her skin, dry at the edges, still cool at the center. She stretches one leg out. Then the other. Her toes press against the earth. Not hard. Just enough to feel the soft, sandy layer below. There is warmth in the air now. A breath of it. Not heat. Not sun. But the gentle warmth that comes before the sun arrives. The warmth that says morning is real. Morning has come. She rolls onto her back. Looks up. The branches above her have changed. Their shadows no longer stretch. They soften. The leaves above her glow from behind, light filtering through their green veins, like thin skin touched by light. A bird hops along a branch. Its feathers puffed against the breeze. It pauses. Tilts its head. Then continues on. The trees creak faintly. Not from wind. Just the slow motion of warming wood. Noma remains still. Soaking in the quiet. The slow, unfolding calm of morning. There is no hurry. There is no task. Not yet. She watches a moth flutter through a shaft of sunlight. Its wings are pale gray, and when it flies through the golden light, they shine for just a moment, then vanish again into the shade. The world is quiet. Not silent. Just quiet enough for the smallest sounds to feel full. A single drop of dew falls from a leaf. It lands on the earth beside her with a sound too soft to describe. A sound more felt than heard. This is morning. Not fast. Not bright. But slow, and soft, and new. The sun has not yet risen above the hills. But its light has come. Spreading gently, across the grasses, over the river, along the quiet stones. Noma sits up. Not all at once. Her arms press gently into the earth. Her spine curves. Her shoulders roll. She breathes in through her nose. Holds it. Lets it out. A long, slow exhale. She rubs her hands together. Then her arms. Then her face. Not to wake. Not to rush. But to warm. To feel. Her skin still holds the memory of sleep. Still remembers the night. Around her, insects begin to stir. Not many. Just a few. Their legs brushing dry stems. Their wings fluttering once or twice. She watches them. Says nothing. The morning speaks for itself. Noma reaches toward the bundle of leaves beside her. Lifts a small strip of bark. It smells faintly sweet. She holds it under her nose. Breathes it in. Then presses it gently to her cheek. Familiar. Comforting. Like the touch of someone known. She sets it down again. Her fingers brush through the dirt beside her. She draws a slow circle. Then another. No reason. Just movement. The sky above her has changed. The gold grows warmer. The blue deeper. And then, a long, slow light crests the top of the far hill. The sun has arrived. Not with force. Not with glare. But like a thought rising through a dream. Gentle. Soft. Quiet. The tips of the trees glow. The grasses shine. Even the stones seem to breathe in the new light. Noma stands. She does not rush. She does not speak. She just stands. Face to the light. Eyes half closed. She is part of the land. Part of the day. No beginning, no end. Just presence. And so, the morning opens. Noma steps away from the tree. The one where she slept. Where she rested in the dark. The fire's old circle of stones behind her now. Left quiet. Untouched. The sun is higher now. But not yet hot. Its warmth is still light. Still kind. The grasses around her sway softly. She walks between them. Not fast. Not slow. Just steady. Her bare feet press gently into the earth. She knows the paths. Not by trail, not by marking. But by feel. A place where the grass bends differently. Where a stone sits a certain way. Where the shadows fall just so. The trees ahead lean into each other. Their branches reaching. Meeting. Their leaves whisper in the soft morning wind. Noma ducks beneath them. Brushes her hand along the smooth bark. Pauses there. Just for a moment. The smell of sap is faint, but she notices it. The smell of warmth. Of slow time. She crouches near a patch of low plants. Her hands move slowly, gently parting the leaves. She sees no berries. But that's all right. She was not looking for anything in particular. Just looking. She stands again. Birds pass overhead, two, then one more. Their wings cut the air. Soft. Silent. Noma watches them disappear into the blue. Her eyes narrow slightly, as if to keep the shape of them a little longer. She breathes deeply. The air tastes like the earth itself, damp, warm, alive. And so she walks. Not toward anything. Not away. Just through. The hill is not tall. It rises slowly, its back curved like a sleeping animal. Noma climbs it carefully. Each step slow. Each foot placed with thought. At the top, she stops. She looks out over the land. Long grasses stretch far. Patches of trees break the green. The river is a silver thread, weaving quietly through it all. A bird cries far in the distance. A long, slow sound. Carried away by the breeze. She sits. The stone beneath her is warm now. Warmed by the sun's quiet hand. She leans back on her hands, lets her fingers splay against the smooth surface. A small beetle walks past. Its legs flick quickly, but its journey is slow. Noma watches it. Follows its path until it disappears under a blade of grass. She lies back. The sky above her is wide. Endless. Pale blue. Not a cloud. Not a sound. Her breathing slows again. She lets the sun touch her face, lets the warmth pool on her skin. Nothing needs to be done. Not now. Not soon. The world moves without her. The grasses sway. The birds fly. The river continues. And she, for now, does not move. Much later, the sun begins to lean westward. Its light stretches again, growing longer, softer. Noma rises. The wind moves more now. A gentle push at her back. It guides her, not firmly, not urgently, just a quiet encouragement. She walks slowly down the hill. A small tree offers shade. She passes beneath it. Brushes her fingers across its leaves. They are cool, slightly rough, and trembling softly. The fire will come again tonight. The stars will return. The night will breathe. But for now, she continues her walk. She passes a hollow log. A few old stones. A path worn into the grass by no feet but time. She sees a feather in the dirt. White and soft. She lifts it. Turns it in her fingers. Keeps it. The sun moves lower. Touching the tops of the trees now. Bathing everything in soft gold. Noma steps back into the place she began. The tree, the fire pit, the leaves still pressed flat where she lay. She crouches down. Brushes the ground smooth. Not to erase anything. Just to ready it again. She places the feather gently beside a small stone. Then sits. Then rests. Her eyes half close. And once more. She waits for the dark. And now. The day has ended. The fire has faded. And Noma rests once more beneath the stars. The earth holds her gently, and time moves on. Quietly. Without rush. Thank you for walking beside her, for listening, for breathing slowly, for letting the stillness settle in. If this story helped bring you calm, or gently guided you toward sleep, you're welcome to come back anytime. And if you'd like more peaceful journeys like this one, don't forget to like this video, and subscribe for more deeply relaxing sleep stories. Each one made just to help you rest. Until next time, good night, and sweet dreams.